Okay. Hello. 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 Testing is okay. All right. So I'm just going to be uh doing a test real quick just to make sure you guys can hear me and okay, had to turn it on through my iPad. So first of all, okay, I think from what I was able to hear on my iPad, um I do hear myself and I was able to see myself. So, okay, I don't know how many people we're going to be expecting, but hopefully we'll get a good handful. Uh so for those of you who might be tuning in now, I do want to apologize for not only keeping you guys waiting for a few minutes, but I also want to apologize for, I don't know, I was trying to go live about 3, 4 times now and I was trying to go live on my iPad, but for some reason it doesn't want to show my face. The audio is working, but Um, I don't know why the camera was not working. I was trying to make sure it was filming from a horizontal angle, but for some reason it just wouldn't show it, the camera just won't work. I even made sure that it was pointed towards me. So that's something that I'm going to have to look into. So anyways, what's going on everyone? Mark Galloway here, and we finally did it. We have just hit 1,000 subscribers. It's been a very long time coming, and this channel has been active for 8 years now. And it's crazy that it kind of took this long to get here to this first milestone ever. Uh, Now, initially, when I started this channel, it was just mainly supposed to be like a vlogging side channel where I would just like film stuff about myself, as long as it wouldn't be anything too personal. But here we are. Uh, when what happened, I made this channel my priority. So been a little bit more active here, and been a little bit more active here, and yeah, that's basically how we got to where we are. So I'm gonna be answering all. So this is Q&A number two, 1,000 subscribers special. Oh, by the way, I want to. Okay, so we finally hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's gonna take more time, but I hope that when this channel gets the good amount of watch hours that it needs, I'll finally monetize this channel. And hopefully, over the next, like, I don't know, it might be another 5 years, but hopefully, we'll still get a good number of subscribers on this channel where I will still be able to grow and finally make a living out of this. So that's it. So, anyways, we are now going to be answering all of your questions. So it'll mainly be like going through my iPad, and I'll be answering all your questions. And also, if you guys have not gotten a chance to ask any questions, you could still ask right here. So that is that. Okay, so no one seems to be watching at this very moment, but you know what? That's okay. It'll still happen over time. I might still be able to get some people in here, but I do believe that once this goes on to become a full video, then hopefully all of you guys who asked the questions will watch and be able to get the answers that you need. And by the way, happy Memorial Day, everybody. So let's get to the questions. Okay, so I got one separate question on my post where I announced the Q&A, and this question is from this Bloom WC Lightning McQueen Chevy 95. I do believe he asked another question on my chat on my other video where I announced the Q&A, but This is one. If he didn't, then this is one. This is his question. Or if not, this is one of his. So, first question is, well, he asks, what do you think of Miraculous Ladybug Revelator episode what do you think of Miraculous Ladybug season 6 episode Revelator? Phenomenal. I loved it. It really touched on what season 6 is really supposed to be about. Now, first of all, I have seen all of the episodes that were released so far of season 6. And first of all, I really do like how the characters, the side characters, are getting some more depth to them. Like, we're learning more about Sabrina, why she stuck through Chloe, even after all the abuse she put her through. We learned more about Nathaniel, one of the most underrated characters of the show. Same goes for Mark, and I digressed. We still have yet to learn more about Luca, but we do know that's coming. Uh, we do have something coming with Zoe. Hopefully we'll get a good one involving Felix and Kagami. But I really do like how the side characters we're learning a bit more about them. Here's the thing though, and this does revolve around Revelator. Okay, hypothetically, if season 5 ended the way that it really should have been, Adrian finally breaking out of his rut, standing up to his father, putting him in his place. Gabriel truly understanding the wrong that he did. The identity reveal, the true identity reveal. Had season 5 ended the way that we all hoped it could have been, season 6 could have had the same direction, with Lila being the new holder of the Butterfly Miraculous and the new villain, which I do want to touch upon for number 1. She's cooking so far. She is cooking by a margin, and I'm all in for it. I could say a lot about Lila, but all I can say is like she's far better than Gabriel, obviously. But that aside, she could still be the villain. We could have like Adrian just going through a different kind of conflict where after confronting and standing up to his father, he feels complicated about himself. Like he could still go through the part where, he's trying to, find himself and learning more about himself, or basically the same thing that he's going through in season 6 right now, being that his father is gone and he grew up like his whole life with a controlling father who had a schedule, and he barely gave him a chance to do anything, right? So he could still have a different kind of conflict, but it also, and this is also what I hope season 8 or 7 could be about, excuse me, that after they find out their identities, they learn to grow stronger together, human or superhero form. Had it would have been like that, we could the focus around the characters, the side characters, where we learn a bit more about them, would have been the basic focus. Like we definitely would still get entertainment out of Adrianette, Lady Noir, being that they know about each other, but we also would have been able to be more invested into learning about the side characters, and we wouldn't have had an issue. But it's like with this season right now, being that there's a huge secret between Adrianette, because Marinette knows that Gabriel was Monarch, but she can't tell Adrian. This is kind of the thing where we're telling, like, it's like we're trying to give the side characters a chance, right? I'm all in for that. I believe, and I understand, but it's just at some point, it's like we're telling Marinette, grow up, take responsibility, stop lying. You know what I mean? It's like, why are we not focusing on this primary subject? And then we're like, even when they're doing a good job, telling, even when they're doing a decent job with bringing in the side characters so we understand more about them, it's just hard to focus on that because still, kind of outraged with how this is playing out because why are we still primarily focusing on secrets? Like this has got to stop. And like, look, I can understand that maybe that with the butterfly miraculous still out there, it's really dangerous. And I understand that being a superhero, you can't just go out telling people who you are, especially with people that you truly trust. But I just feel like the more they delve into that, teasing us about the reveal, it just became so outrageous to the point where we're trying to focus on like the story, but it's like, oh come on, please stop teasing us. If you're not gonna do it, don't do it. Do it at a do it at the right time, but please stop teasing us. It's just becoming so outraged. Okay, I rambled on too long. All right. Revelator, I felt was great. I loved it. Alia finding out the secret, even if she did choose to forget about it, and her confronting Marinette about the fact that she lied, I was like, oh, yes, this is how it feels, Marinette. This is how it feels that you bashed that Cat Noir in New York, even though he did slip up. This is how it feels when you unnecessarily lash out at him when he's trying to do everything he can to help you. Just like, but yet you bash out at him at Kuroneko. This is how it feels when you mistreat him when he's only doing the best he can. He may be a superhero, but he's a human. But yeah, Marinette, this is how it feels. Get a taste of your own medicine. Alia, put this chick in her place. Wake her up. Okay, but yeah. Now I know that there's some people who overreacted to there's people that were putting hate on Alia because they felt, oh, she overreacted. She shouldn't have reacted that way. Um, I agree with how she reacted. Did Marinette really needs a wake up call to understand? Hey, this is a big mistake you're making, and this is like, I thought you hated lying. I thought we were keeping secrets from each other, and I just felt like she really should have given her. I felt like she should have reacted more. I really want and like the fact that Marinette was only responding with the truth is too harsh or that's why I didn't want to tell you. I just felt like she's just spewing out defense mechanism words, because like she's not providing a real answer to why she chose to lie. Yes, the truth is harsh and I can understand that. The moment that Adrian finds out, I get it. It's really gonna be a stab to the heart, I understand it's gonna hurt big time. But it's for his personal growth, just like what Alia said. I just felt like Marinette truly didn't understand. Now, this might be just me, but I just felt like Marinette needs a proper wake up call. I just felt like she didn't truly learn that after what the reaction she got out from Alia, even if she did well, oh, okay, yeah, Alia did choose to forget about the secret, and but regardless, I just felt like Marinette truly did not learn that the secret, for one, the secret's going to come out no matter what. And two, she needs to really start taking responsibility. But yet, here she goes. She's going to continue lying and then it's going to be too late and the secret's going to be out and people are going to turn on her. Just like how No Way Home did in the beginning and throughout like the first half. Now, I get it. Over time, after the secret's out and say after Paris turns on Ladybug, it's going to take time for this mistake to be repaired. I get it. I get it. There's going to be a solution. But I really just feel like, and I also understand, like, they're not adults. They're not college kids. They're still high school students. They're still, like, say, 14, 15. They are mature enough, but they're still kids. But I just feel like for one, because like they made a poor decision to not have Adrian stand up to his father at long last, have the identity reveal, and you know what I mean? Like I just felt like because like they made this poor decision and are choosing to go with Marinette choosing to lie to Adrian, I just felt like she didn't truly learn. But Revelator was a good one. I really loved that Alia was trying to put Marinette in her place, but I really feel like she could have done more. that was a phenomenal plot-driven episode. I really hope we can get more soon. I rambled on that question. I truly did. But thank you, Bloom, for that question. If you do have another question that you did comment on the video, um, I will be sure to get you. Okay, I'm going to now. Okay, I'm going to now go to my video where there is a ton more questions. So I'm gonna go out at random. Okay, there is one particular one that I want to get to first. Okay, here we go. Dragon Drew 2269. I do believe you did ask me some questions before. Something like this, but except like it's a different version. Okay, number one, in your opinion, what songs suit these trucks? War Wizard, uh, using the song "Strike Back" by We As Human. Okay, so I heard this song, and this was actually Titan's theme. So I'm sorry, but honestly, um, honestly, this song suits Titan the best. Um, I I initially believe, hopefully, I'm just gonna look up. So I'm just gonna look it up real quick, but I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be sure not to play it. Are we still going? Yeah. So I do believe War Wizard's song. I'm gonna turn the mic off for just. Okay, hopefully the mic is going. I do see we're still going. Okay, but I honestly believe that in comparison to this song, regardless, "Over the Top" by White Wizard fits better. So I'm sorry, but Strike Back it suits Titan the best. So, but I have to listen to the songs before I can make a judgment. So, but yeah, I heard Strike Back before. It's a good song, but it fits Titan more. Excuse me. American Idiot by Green Day for Saigon Shaker. That's a good one. I like it. I forgot what Saigon Shaker's theme initially was, but I have to compare it to it. But American Idiot really does have that vibe, and it really does. I do think now that when I think about it, with Saigon Shaker having like the backdraft paint scheme from like the old days when Rick Disharoon used it, and using the Saigon Shaker, the normal scheme on the other half, it that definitely defines American Idiot. So it definitely suits it. So I'll definitely give that a thumbs up. Yeah, definitely use that song. Scooby Doo by What's New Scooby Doo. Okay, the What's New Scooby Doo theme by Simple Plan, or if that's the whole song together. Okay, I did take a listen to it. I do think it's a good song. I definitely do believe it's a good song. But the song that Scooby Doo is using, the Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? What's it? Blah blah blah. That's what things to do now. Like it's kind of going fast when I think about it. But the song that they're using now, I really like it. I definitely feel like it fits the vibe. Like when Scooby Doo is going for like a freestyle run or is competing, give it all it's got. The song really suits it, especially when you hear the go, and then you hear the like you hear the rhythm, the solo. I feel like that song suits better. The What's New Scooby Doo, I do think it's good, but honestly, the original song is better. Tailgater using the song "Push It," yeah, you push it, yeah, you push it by Static X. Okay. First of all, Push It by Static X is a classic. I really do like that theme. And I do think on one end, if like I think it varies from like when you go to like an indie show and they're using that song, it definitely suits. Okay, the reason I'm turning the mic off is because I don't want to take the risk of the music accidentally playing. So, and then the microphone is picking it up. So I'm gonna turn this off for a second. But the other usual song that it was used by Monster Jam, Dark Horses, it really has this soothing rock and roll vibe to it where it flows along with the truck, especially like when you're hearing the guitar riff and the beat. I feel like when it comes to Monster Jam, that song, Dark Horses, fits the truck. But if it does go to independence, when it mostly goes to independent shows. But I think if it comes to independent shows or various independent shows, Push It would definitely work. So I definitely would give it a thumbs up too. Okay, Under the Knife by Rise Against being used for Overboard. First of all, yeah, just like Strike Back, good song, good song, but it really did fit Bad Habit the best. So whatever song, I I haven't looked at all the songs that they're using now. I haven't. I listened to a few, but I didn't look up what Overboard was doing. Um, but sorry, but okay, whatever this, I gotta listen to Overboard song again, and I forgot to listen to it. But sorry, Under the Knife just doesn't work for Overboard, especially now that Bad. Okay, well, with Bad Habit retiring, I guess he could use it, but okay, here's the thing. Okay, Joel Sylvester, yes, he did retire from driving Bad Habit or monster trucks in general, but he still owns the name. So you never know. Like if say like his kids want to take over and drive a monster truck, he could bring Bad Habit back and he'll use that theme again for sure. But I don't know. I just feel like switching to a song already used to Overboard, I don't know. It just still it feels really weird. Again, I have to listen to Overboard's theme that he's playing right now, but no. The song that's being used by Bad Habit, I could okay. I technically understand that they don't own the song, but Under the Knife, it suits Bad Habit the best. As you know, Joe Sylvester is kind of like a defined as a rock and roll rock star kind of Monster Jam truck driver. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay, Super Beast by Rob Zombie, for Jurassic Attack. Okay, I did listen to the song. I do think it would definitely suit well as Jurassic Attack's own theme. Okay, so I don't have a problem with CM Punk's theme. You know, Cult of Personality being used as Jurassic Attack's theme. I definitely do like. I definitely think it's an amazing song. Um, but I definitely believe that it shouldn't be Jurassic Attack's theme for the long run. I mean, if they do decide to still use it, you know, Monster Jam, you know, I'm all in for it. I do believe that at certain events, maybe Super Beast by Rob Zombie, I definitely think it would fit Jurassic Attack, so I definitely would say so. Uh, but yeah, I listened to the song. I do think it's pretty good, so definitely a thumbs up. And finally, Drink by Alstrom being used for Black Pearl, that's a definite. Now, first of all, yeah, the song, the pirate song, like you know, the da 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 ya da da ya da da ya ya. Now, I do think it's fun to jam to that song, especially when you're about to see Black Pearl, you know, burn it down. It's definitely a classic for sure, but I definitely think it deserves a better fluent rock and roll kind of theme that makes you feel like you still want to jam out. But Drink by Alstrom, that should be the new theme for Black Pearl. I would probably say so for World Finals. So that's the best I can describe it for your first question, Drew. So thank you for that. Okay, your second question. I'm probably gonna be stumbling over my words because my lips are a bit chapped, and I just had lunch, so um, it's gonna be hard for me to think and focus and talk. Do you okay, second question. Do you feel that the World Finals has felt less prestigious over the years? I felt that since World Finals 21, as the encores have been either repetitive or less memorable, track designs either felt flat, left the competitors with less room, and blah, 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 blah. If so, what would you? Okay, now, yes, I definitely think that in the most recent couple of years, the World Finals has been losing prestigious. Like the first thing, okay, even before they left Sam Boyd Stadium, I do feel that it was starting to lose its prominence. Like the freestyle tracks was one thing. When they left Sam Boyd Stadium, that was the next step. Now, first of all, it was definitely sad for like all of the fans because they felt like the Sam Boyd Stadium felt like this was the place to go see the World Finals because this is where we watched like say World Finals 1, World Finals 2, World Finals 3. Like say we started watching it on VHS or DVD. I know it's VHS. I'm sorry, but but we started watching World Finals as a kid, and Sam Boyd Stadium got noticed because of World Finals when we watched it on VHS and DVD, and it was the place to go. And then the first time, like the World Finals 19 in Orlando, Florida, it was a fun one, and but it definitely had its ups and downs. That one was criticized basically for having way too many events. Um, I don't. I think, and it had like forgery judges in there. So I mean, it just felt like the some of the runs just felt like they were robbed. I did like how they were able to pay homage to Sam Boyd Stadium style racing. Um, SoFi Stadium. Okay, the crossover stadium at at Orlando. A couple of years after that, that one, I hated that one. I shouldn't have went to that one. I really shouldn't. That's one of the events I regret going to. Um, I know like it had to be done because like they when they restored the stadium, they had to put extra seats up on like right where the racing lane started to right where the racing lane would be staged where they had extra seats and they couldn't do anything about it, so they had to make a racing track inside the stadium. Like I do like the effort and I did see what they were trying to do, but I felt like the execution was a little it was way too wiry or I don't know, just too hairy. Freestyle was fine. Freestyle was pretty good actually. Um, the encores also were losing prestigious. Like Gravedigger's 40th anniversary. Okay, yeah, maybe like say 50 when it comes to like say the 50-year anniversary, I'd be down to see what they do. I really hope they can bring back an encore like what they did back in 2012. The 30th anniversary encore was the GOAT, one of the GOAT encores of World Finals history, if not the GOAT. Um, the It was great seeing all those trucks getting revitalized. The regular Gravedigger, the red primer Gravedigger, Gravedigger the Legend, Grandma Gravedigger, the 30th anniversary Gravedigger. I think they did 20th anniversary Gravedigger, if I'm not mistaken. I think I forgot. The jump was good, but after that, they really should have done that freestyle chaos thing, but they didn't. And Thomas deserved to have his 20th anniversary encore, and I felt like we were robbed of that. It may have been either because of the weather or the fact that they couldn't even get even mysterious drivers to drive Max D all over different Max Ds. You know what I mean? They could have had. They could like okay, maybe they couldn't have brought back Goldberg. I mean, unless if Goldberg and WWE did give permission, would have gave permission, we could have seen Goldberg. But we really could have seen Team Mints. We could have seen the regular Max. We could have seen the regular Max D. We could have seen um one of the Max D schemes, like the Decade of Destruction. We could have seen various things. I feel like we were robbed of what could have been the second GOAT encore of all time. But yeah. SoFi Stadium, first of all, racing was amazing. Racing was great. Okay. The S style course, it was like basically inspired. Okay, maybe it was before they went to Wildwood where it was originated, but the S course was one of a kind. But the Wildwood Monsters on the Beach was where the S course really had its prestige, you know? And so the S course is very iconic. Racing at SoFi Stadium was sick. It was amazing. And we even got to see Zach Garner uh um win the racing title. Excuse me, but freestyle was when it went downhill. Freestyle, they should have saved that for the second day. I'm sorry, but like if had it been a 2-day event, then it would have been fondly remembered. It's still fondly remembered, but if they did freestyle on the second day, we would have had less truck breakages, and we probably would have had much more memorable runs, and maybe that we could have had a run that was more deserving. That's my opinion. But the fact that with Utah coming up with a 2-day format, okay, we were initially when we heard about that it was coming back for 2 days. Initially, it sounded great because we were thinking, okay, first day, we're going to see last chance qualifier and we're going to see racing. Second day, we're going to see freestyle. It's going to be great. But the fact that they made the decision to do, okay, let's do half of racing on the first day, first half of freestyle on this day, and then on the second, we would do second half of racing, and then we would do the second half of freestyle. And like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing? That is a mess. What are you guys thinking? Do you think this is really going to be a good concept? There's like several concepts that you did that were executed badly. They might sound like a good idea, but honestly, what are you guys thinking? What happened to you guys? So I'm cautiously optimistic about World Finals in Utah. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm not going to Utah. I'm not gonna go to Utah. I'm not gonna take the risk of spending all my money on a plane, on a rental car, on a hotel, and then go to a show that potentially has potential to be called the worst ever. I'm not taking that chance. Chances are it may come out just fine, but I hope you guys understand that next year, coming out of this, we do want to see a 2-day format, but please take it easy. Do qualifying on a specific day where there will be no people. First day, do last chance qualifier or showdown and racing. Second day, do freestyle. It's that simple. It's not difficult. So, yeah, I feel like overall, World Finals has been losing its prestigious. If so, what would you do to change it? I would just take it easy. I would take, okay, if I was in charge, I would say, okay, let's do 24 trucks at this specific arena and at this specific stadium, or if it comes to this specific stadium or raceway, then let's do like say 32. And then and then I would take advice for like say, hey, what do you guys think the freestyle track should be? Okay, we can do like a 3-day format. We do the first day with no fans, but like we just do it with qualifying with both last chance and racing. Second day, we do racing, last chance qualifier and racing, and on the third day we do freestyle. That's all I would do. Also, with what I would do, let's say that the World Finals lineup, I would do one Gravedigger. I would choose a specific driver. Okay, now in reality, what I would just do, if you're gonna have repetitive Gravediggers, have one be the ordinary Gravedigger, but give it like a special scheme. Maybe bring back the Green Ghost. How sick would that be? Second Gravedigger, bring back the Grandma Gravedigger. Third Grader, bring back Gravedigger the Legend. Fourth Gravedigger, use the red primer. You can use one regular Gravedigger, but you can bring back the other 3 classic schemes. How great would that be? You know what I mean? And then if you're gonna do, like, say, hypothetically, if you're gonna do another 5th Gravedigger, maybe you can give that a special scheme. Maybe use the Grim Reaper digger, like Dennis's old concept. You know what I mean? Or maybe you can do the Halloween grave digger. That would be amazing. Okay, but what I would do also, okay, that would be one of my options, but I would also have one gravedigger driven by this specific driver under the name Anderson. Um, let's say excuse me. What I would do, okay, if like say hypothetically that Weston and Christian go together uh at to the World Finals, I would give Adam Anderson maybe the regular Gravedigger or the Green Ghost, whatever. I would have Christian do um Grandma Gravedigger, and maybe for Weston, I could consider have him driving uh Gravedigger the Legend. Oh, okay, but let's say hypothetically that those are all the Andersons that could compete. But I would also do like would okay. Let's also say that um, Tyler Menninga and Matt Cody. Let's say like the drivers that are not under Anderson, I would want them to drive like say let's bring back backwards Bob, and maybe we could even bring back Northern Nightmare. Hell, we can even bring back Inferno. We can bring back some of these iconic trucks underrated from the past that we haven't seen in like say 10 years. Maybe we can make them active. Maybe we can make them prestigious again. You know what I mean? That's one thing I would do. The other thing the other thing I would do, okay, I would say, okay, let's say if the lineup still contained all the Gravediggers, right? It's already enough as it is that you got about 4 or 5 Gravediggers, but as long as you bring back like the old paint schemes, like say, okay, regular slash Green Ghost, Gravedigger the Legend, Red Primer, um, and Grandma, and you even have Son of a Digger, right? And then that would be enough as it is. But I would not do 2 trucks of the same name because this one has 2 Sparkle Smashes. That's enough as it is. Okay, now granted, we may still get a really amazing or outstanding paint scheme of a second Sparkle Smash. I do believe it could be great. But why do 2 Sparkle Smashes? One is enough. Especially not being that this is the first year of its competition year throughout, like, say, the first quarter. Let's say that after one Sparkle Smash is invited, maybe you can have the second truck be horsepower. I don't. I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Horsepower is okay. Right neck. Okay, horsepower right where my finger is, right there. You can bring horsepower to life. Or maybe you can also and here's the other thing, maybe if you can't, maybe I would just do like a switch. Maybe I would switch, okay? So let's say Blake Ranger. You can put him in Monster Mutt Rottweiler, and then you can have Monster Mutt Dalmatian be driven by Jamie Sullivan. That's also what I would do. So it's not just the day format that I would fix. I would also fix up what truck specifically um, these type of drivers would drive if, say, we have a few Gravediggers or we have 2 trucks of the same name taking up much more space than it already has to be. That's also what I would do. No repetitive names. Okay, maybe with Gravedigger you can excuse it as long as you use like special throwback schemes that you can bring back, and then you can make it much more entertaining. Or you can bring back much more names that Phil hasn't used in like say a few years, right? That's what I would do. So I'm kind of going on. Oh wait, I feel like I missed part of the question. The track designs either fell flat or leave the competitors with left room. Okay, yeah, I did touch upon that, and yeah, I do feel like some of the tracks did fall flat. And the schedules make the pit parties shorter, and it makes the show feel like okay. I forgot about that. Okay, yes, that's why I would fix the 2-day or 3-day format because if you have a 2-day format or a 3-day show format that is used correctly, that gives us more time to spend as much as we can in the pit party. When it came to Nashville and or Orlando of 2022, 2023, lost track. Um, I feel like the pit party goes too fast. We're not able to see everyone or have all the time we need, right? Especially to buy merchandise. I just feel like if we do have like a 2 3 day format, it gives us much more time to spend as much time in a pit party as we can. Um, and the show feels like okay, yeah, and it does not unnecessarily feel like a drag. So like, yeah, that's also what I would fix. So your second question really did bring up a point. So thank you for that one. Okay, your third question. Similar to AEW's partnership with New Japan, Stardom, CMLL, etc., do you think Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live could do similar partnerships with companies like All Star Monster Truck Tour, Overdrive, Toughest MT Tour, and Map Motorsports, where the Hot Wheels trucks are names along with the indie teams and their names in joint competitions like Charlotte Motor Speedway? Okay, okay. Here's the thing. Here's what I would do. Okay, so since Bigfoot competes almost exclusively with the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Tour, okay, what I would definitely bring a couple of the other names to life, but I would also want to make I also want some room to be within everybody else because I would still want some of the indie trucks to be themselves. Don't get me wrong. I do I do like all the Hot Wheels monster trucks bodies, they're unique. They are unique. But I would also like say if there's people that don't want to run other bodies but they just want to run as themselves, I mean, I would still want them to compete as it is. But and when it comes to like the independents, I don't really have a proper answer for this one. But if there's like people that don't want to run under a different name but they still want to run as themselves, I would excuse it because like we could still make the show as fun as it is. And I would also respect that decision. I do think some partnerships with the indies outside of Monster Jam with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, I do think it really can be entertaining because I mean, as long as they bring out a pretty good track design for what they're able to do, especially when it comes to like either small facilities, fairgrounds, or even speedways. As long as you're able to come up with a track that's very fitting and a really good lineup that's like a mix between your own trucks and the other indie trucks that just want to run as themselves, I do think you're in for a packed house. You're in for a good amount of money, especially if you're going to be sharing it with the other tours. I do think that's an interesting idea. So yeah, if something like that does happen, I wouldn't mind. So give it a go. Roll it on. His fourth question. With the return of indie trucks like Sudden Impact a few months ago, okay, yep. I'm so happy Sudden Impact and Ground Pounder are finally back. I don't really see the other trucks coming back unless something does happen. Amsoil Shock Therapy, I don't really see coming back. Um, Coal Energy, no, I don't see coming back either. Ground Pounder and Sudden Impact, I think, are enough. So I think it's great. It's great that we're seeing Ground Pounder and Sudden Impact come back again. If anything changes, it would be interesting to see them on Monster Jam again, but I kind of doubt it, especially with the changes. But it's great to see them come back. Okay, with the return of indie trucks like Sudden Impact from a few months ago, what other identities would you like to see revived, and what indie teams should revive them? I would like to see identities like Little Tiger be revived by Tomfoolery Motorsports, Bad Habit revived by Uproar Motorsports because Joe Sylvester sold the chassis to the Zimmers, and Blacksmith or Rage and Steel revived by either Garners or DCT Motorsports. Oh wow, this is an interesting one. There's definitely a lot of names I want to see come back. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, if Team Throttle, if they're able to, you know, buy ownership or claim ownership of Jurassic Attack and put it to good use, and if they're able to use Cult of Personality for the song, especially with Monster Jam, I will want them to bring back Inferno because if with Inferno under their ownership, they can use this fire burns. I think Monster Jam would also do that too if they could. That's one thing. Um, if Joseph Escher sold the name to Uproar Motorsports, I can see that happening. I could definitely see that happening for sure. But I want them to see if they'll claim the ownership of Bad Habit. But we never know. I mean, like I said, Joe Sylvester could still own the name until like say if his kid says I want to be a monster truck driver, he can bring back Bad Habit for sure still. But that would be great. Uh, I would say Blacksmith. Okay, Blacksmith or Raging Steel. I'm gonna say more likely Raging Steel could be revised by the I would say Raging Steel by DCT actually. I think they will give it a much more interesting paint scheme for sure. And Blacksmith, it could be possibly revived by the Garners. I mean, initially when Terminal Velocity debuted, it was under their ownership before they claimed ownership of themselves. But and I'm talking about Uproar before Uproar or the Zimmers claimed ownership of the truck. But Blacksmith could be under the ownership of the Garners. That would be good. Um, Little Tiger by Tom Fleetwood Motorsports. I'm gonna say that's more of a long shot because we haven't heard from Brian Barthel in like years if he wants to sell the truck. If he wants to sell the name, as far as I understand, I think he still owns it. But there's some that's a long shot. But okay, but Inferno, I would definitely say I would see that one being revived by Team Throttle. We still have yet to hear if from Mike Harper if Bulldozer will ever come back because it was said that he claimed ownership, but we have yet to see anything. So if anything, we could hear from someone in Mexico who can bring Bulldozer back. We never know. But Bulldozer is one of the most wanted trucks to ever come back. So I really, um, if anything, maybe Tom Foolery could bring back Bulldozer. You never know for sure. So it's possible. Um, but that's all I can think of at the top of my head. But more likely, I would say Team Throttle could bring back Inferno. That's just my opinion. So hopefully I answered your questions good enough, Drew. So thank you for the questions. I'm sorry if I butchered some of your answers. I kind of like was rambling on a little too long and I couldn't really think of what the proper answer would be. But that was all I was able to think. That's the best I was able to think of, especially with a tricky question. But either way, Drew, thank you for the questions, and I hope to hear back from you eventually. Okay, Minecraft Weird Kids 7055. Let's go. Will you do anything special for hitting 1,000 subscribers? I thought I could pull something off, but no, I can't really. Nothing special is gonna be really hitting, but well, actually, it would. I think this live stream was kind of a special in one way. Initially, was thinking we could do it. We were gonna do it in a video, but I think this live stream was just more than enough. Um, but as far as anything special beyond this, no, I didn't really think of it anything over because I'm just like mentally all burned out from trying to think of some stuff so creative. So maybe in the future, if we hit a specific milestone, then maybe I'll try to think of something much more special. But I just think this live stream was just about more than enough. But I definitely can't promise that in the next couple of months, there's definitely going to be more vlogs coming. So that's one thing I can promise for sure. Okay, thank you for the questions, Minecraft. 7055. Um, Jesus Esparza, how grateful were you when Stanley Hernandez got you an opportunity to help out? I'm very thankful. Okay, like the thing that sucks is that like they don't really have much shows coming over here in the East Coast. They do have like about they had one in York, Pennsylvania, but I went somewhere else that weekend. Um, I think that was when I was in Bristol. Um, they do have another one in North Carolina, but again, I think I might have something else going on that weekend, or I might not be able to. I don't really know. I think I might have something else going on that same weekend. But they don't really have much shows coming. They don't have much shows at the East Coast at this very moment. They are mostly like consistent in like the Central and the West Coast. So that's the thing that kind of sucked. But I really would like to work with him again. He was a really fun guy. But I'm very thankful. He was great, and he really provided much more help. Okay, thank you for the and I really hope that we can get more opportunities this year and next year and beyond. Definitely though, for sure. Thank you for the question, Jesus. Okay, double bacon cheeseburger. Okay, question number 1. What monster truck team would be your dream to drive for? Feld or Indy? Bro, we're nearly an hour into this. Um, okay, so I would say Feld would be at a later time, being that Monster Jam is really where I want to be. But really, I would say my dream would be more of like the Indies because that's where we would compete at the most prestigious monster truck tracks there is today, especially in this modern era. But I definitely like Monster Jam is definitely where I wanted to go, and I still want to do it. But I would say, just being considering the circumstances, I would say the Indy is much more of the dream side, especially being that much of the drivers that competed in Monster Jam prefer to go to the Indies because like Monster Jam has been much more strict with what they want and what they want to bring in and what they want to promote, especially when it comes to like we got to put mufflers in the engine or something like that. Or we gotta you gotta get rid of the zoomies and you gotta use BKTs. It's it's much more. It's more. I would say Indie is much more where I would aim for, but I still want to do Monster Jam for sure. Uh, Number 2, if you could do voice acting for any cartoon, anime, or other media, what would you choose? This is a good one. Um, I would say because like there's like a lot of us that have like a much more easier performance of like performing as a villain or a bad person, especially when it comes to being a character. I would say like I would voice someone else in Hell of a Boss. And like say if it comes to Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss, actually if it comes to Hell of a Boss, I would want to perform as like the Death Skull character. Like I don't know if you guys saw like on my Instagram where I'm in the skeleton like mask, costume and mask, where I'm holding a skull and wearing a full face mask that is like based off of Suicide slash Manic from TNA. Um, I would want to perform as this person, this skeleton who uh, were was kind of like triggered and how do I say it? Um, that this skeleton has had a habit for killing and eating bones off of murdered people because he grew up a very dark life, survived in darkness, survived abuse mentally and physically, and adored pain for a long time. Was dead, and as much as he tries to, and like he wants to see the light, but he just like he's overcome with so much darkness and anger. He wants help, so he wants to go to the Happy Hotel. So I would say I would voice him in the Has Been Hotel. When if it comes to Hell of a Boss, like if it comes to like hell, I would say I don't think I would necessarily voice myself for the Death Skull. I would want to voice someone that comes to mind. Like say if like when Christina V got the role to play in Hell of a Boss, she didn't know it was Veronica at the time, but then like when they offered her the role of Veronica and showed her like a picture and say, "Hey, this is what I want you to talk like, and this is what you have to be like," blah 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 blah. She was all in for it, and then Veronica got variety because of that. You know, so I would say if it comes to Hell of a Boss, I want to voice like a character that's provided for me that fits my personality and in one way and fits my role as a bad person, but is trying to learn. Maybe it's a long lost friend or relative of Blitz, or maybe it's an ex boyfriend of Luna, or who knows. But if it comes to those two shows, it would either like okay, Has Been Hotel, I would voice my skeleton character. Hell of a Boss, it would just be whoever is provided to me. Oh, but if I were to voice something in Miraculous Ladybug, okay, canon or not canon, or actually, I'm going to be aiming towards non canon. But let's say if Monster Jam was sponsored to do a collab with Jeremy Zag or Zag Entertainment, and then they got to do a special episode for Miraculous Ladybug where like Monster Jam and Miraculous Ladybug collab for a special, I would want to voice myself, and then we could even bring characters to the screen. Like say we could have Tom Mintz, we can even have Dennis Anderson voice themselves, and we can have them drive their trucks in in the special. We can even bring in people like Kristen Anderson or Deborah Michelle, Medusa, or maybe we can bring in Adam Anderson's son under Adam, Christian Anderson. We could bring in Ryan Anderson. We could bring in Blake Ranger. We could bring in a few drivers that could reprise themselves in there. But I would say I would be the main star out of all of them in that special where I'm voicing myself. And that special would be about how we got promoted to do a show at the Paris Stadium. I'm not gonna try to remember the name. It's a lot. It's you hear that? That was odd. But I would say, okay, Monster Jam. Okay, I'm not gonna remember the stadium because like I don't want to do research and waste time. But Bob Roth, screw that guy. Bob Roth wants to cancel the whole thing, even though we're already there because because monster trucks like if even when we're providing much protection for the turf as possible, they could say, he could say, oh, I don't want you. You guys are have much more risk of ripping up the turf. This could lead to this much repairs and damages. This is how much it could cost. Blah blah blah. And then like I'm telling him off, and then I end up getting akumatized and like, hey, yeah, maybe I could reprise the role as like Death Skull, maybe an evil version of myself, crushing everything in my path, and then everyone has to save me. So that's in my opinion, that's what I would do. Okay, but in other shows, I would just I would just perform whichever is provided by me. But as for these three, that's just how I would want to perform if it comes to like my three uh favorite shows to watch in this modern era. I do have other favorite shows that I do admire absolutely from the past. But if it comes to other shows, like with these three aside, if it comes to other shows that come to voice acting, I would just be doing whatever I can as long as it fits me. So that's my honest answer about that. So thank you for the questions, Joe Bacon Chaseburger. Hopefully my answer was good enough. Xavier, did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. Xavier Singleton P90. Are you going to World Finals this year? No, I am not. For a good reason too. Like it's in the West Coast for one. It's on the 4th of July weekend, and I don't want to take the chance of spending this much money to go to Utah and then having this potentially be the worst show I've ever gone to with and then live with regret. Because Nashville and Orlando 2022, 23, whatever. I really regret going to those shows. I really should have went to like Anaheim All Star. That was a banger of a show. I really regret those are the two shows I regret going to because like those shows, even if they did try their best, they were like crappy shows, especially with the weather. But no, I don't want to take this chance. So no, and no, answer is no. I'm sorry, but I will watch it on YouTube if I'm able to. Well, I'm gonna watch it regardless, but I might. I'm just probably not gonna watch it live, probably for a reason. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. Cute Lover 9443. Huge dub by hitting 1K. Uh, okay, I know what you're referring to. Comic Dubber 506. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Okay. Oh, my question is this. Oh, I got a question on the live stream. Oh, well, that's the first one, so thank you for that. I'll get you in a second. My question is: would you be able to go back if you would you be able to go back in time and prevent Lego Fan 506 from getting hacked? There is not a day goes by where I would wish this every single day. All the time, I tell myself, if we had a time machine, I would go back in time just I would just go back in time to do whatever I can to make sure uh, I did a lot better, I thought a lot better, and make sure my channel didn't get hacked. There is not a day that goes by where I don't wish that I can go back in time to prevent Lego Fan 506 from getting hacked, and I can still be in my prime on YouTube. So, if I were, yes, I would do whatever I can in this world to go back in time to prevent myself from acting out and acting so immature to a point where I don't make a mistake that leads to my channel getting hacked. So that was a really good question, and my answer is this: yes, I would do everything I can to make sure I would not get hacked. I would go back in time to make sure I would tell myself, "Hey, don't do don't don't use this app. Hey, don't do this because this is going to be really bad." You know, but but yes, if I could, I would definitely go back in time to make sure I don't slip up and get my channel hacked. I would make sure of that. A huge jump by hitting 1K. Okay. Um, I really want to make as much. Hold on, I gotta turn on this fan. I'm feeling a little warm in here. Huge dub. Okay, a lot of you guys have been wanting to see a dub again by Comic Dubber 506, which is my comic dubbing channel. Really, I really missed it. Okay, I gotta turn this down a little bit. I'm just clicking up the fan. I might have to turn on the AC soon. Um, I know you guys. A lot of you guys have been wanting to see a comic dub for a few months since my Hungry Hellhound comic dub. I really do apologize that I wasn't able to make more content for Comic Dubber 506 since then. Just outside of YouTube, it's been a lot more stressful lately, especially with what's coming up so soon. But I really want to do everything I can to make videos for Comic Number 506 again. I missed that and I really do apologize. But for making a dub just at least like right now, it's just a little impossible. I just mentally have not been all there and I just can't really think to pull myself together and you know because some comic dubs cost money to make. Like there is some voice actors that do it just for a hobby, but there's just some that do it for pay as a job, and that's what makes it hard. But I really want to put myself on the acceleration pedal one day, and I really want to make comic dubs again because oh my gosh, I miss it. So hopefully sometime soon I will do comic dubs again, but hopefully hopefully sometime soon we will do comic dubs again and I would say let's do it around July, maybe September. Around those months I will do comic dubs again and hopefully after that it won't be as long anymore. But thank you for the suggestion and thank you for the questions, cute lover. So that's that. Oh, this question. Denny, did you watch Dark Side of the Ring? Billy Jake Hayes. I gotta look this up real quick. I don't think so. Oh, it must be oh, okay, it's the wrestling. Okay, yeah, I've heard of this. Um, old untold story. I did hear about the Dark Side of the Ring when it featured Vince McMahon, especially when it brought up Chris Benoit. No, I did not. I did not see that yet. So, I'll probably will have to check it out because I think it will have something interesting to do with the story. So, eventually I will have to check it out. Okay, let me just do this. Um, okay, guys. We're going to I will definitely check it out. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop this live stream right now, being that I have to catch my breath. I got to take a little break and pull myself together a little bit because I'm kind of still stumbling over my words. But I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we're gonna do part two of the live stream. So thank you for tuning in. Those are the first questions, and oh yeah, the entire situation is very sad, and I'm very sure of that. And we are already an hour in here, so I gotta compose myself, and I will be back with you guys very shortly, and we will finish the rest of this Q&A. So I will be right back. So, but thank you for tuning for part one, and thank you again for 1,000 subscribers.